now. It'll be nice and fun. We're going to do our post free agency mock draft here for you guys. A lot has changed in the mock draft since the last time we have seen it and done it because of all the changes that got made in free agency. So it's going to be a lot of fun to do this. And do you want to do trades? Want to do trades?
Not yet.
Not yet. That's all right. That is all right. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into mock draft 3.0.
Have you had the number 1 pick yet?
I don't think so.
I think you got to take it.
Yeah. Super easy for me. It's funny. The reason I asked about trades was I don't think it'll happen at this point, but I wouldn't be shocked again if you see the Giants try to make a push to get up to 1. Again, don't think it'll happen because I do think the Titans are really trying to set themselves up with their way they spent money in free agency, especially along that offensive line, to take Cam Ward. And that's who the selection is going to be here. There was a minute there where people are like, well, maybe it'll be Abdul Carter. But again, it really seems with the way that they had spent their money, it's going to be Cam Ward. There's absolutely no shot in the world that they are going into the season with Will Levis as their starting quarterback.
Absolutely agree. The way they spent money was very targeted at getting a rookie quarterback to drop in here. I think I said it last week that you overpay for Dan Moore and you overpay a year prior for Calvin Ridley to have a stable environment for a rookie quarterback to drop in there when you get the opportunity. And they got the opportunity with the number 1 overall pick. And another thing is this regime's got to win games. Brian Callahan's got to win games to save his job. So I completely agree. Number 2 with the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to go Trav. I mean, this is a toss-up. You know, if you want to pick Abdul Carter to put alongside Myles Garrett, I completely agree. I think if you want to throw in Shedeur Sanders, maybe, possibly, but I don't think you pass on one of those 2 guys in Trav or Abdul Carter to take Shedeur Sanders for me.
No.
Just overall, I think you go the stopgap route and you figure out what you want Travis Hunter to be. Do you want him to be a corner? Do you want him to be a receiver? I think I said it a few weeks ago, is like receiver. I think he could be a very sound receiver, and I would want to put him at receiver because of his overall special twitch and athletic ability. But if you want to put him at corner, I don't think that's a wrong decision either. So
no, I don't think you can go wrong at either position. Both positions they need at wide receiver or corner there. Again, for a minute, it could have been Abdul Carter, and it still could be Abdul Carter and them just having the best edge duo in the entire league between the 2 of them. But yeah, they just spent $40 million a year on Myles Garrett. So you won't get any pushback for me on that one. As much as I want to take Abdul Carter here, and if it was me and what I would do based off of my board, it would be Abdul Carter. But the Giants just seemingly have no plan at what they're going to do at quarterback. And all the buzz around the league over the last 2-3 months is that they really do love Shedeur, much to my dismay. I am going to go Shedeur Sanders here for the Giants at 3. And they find what hopes to be their quarterback in the future.
Yeah, this is more of a desperation pick than anything else.
Absolutely.
Like, I think we both agree we wouldn't want this spot for the Giants. I think passing on a guy like Abdul Carter, even like Tedero McMillan and Will Campbell is hard to stomach because you're taking a quarterback who in most draft classes would not be up near the top. So it's just, again, the tax on the position. They don't really have a stopgap option because Rodgers is taking his time. Russell Wilson is, whatever. Jameis is whatever. So it's like, this is a team that they had like 3 plans. They tried to get Drake May last year. They tried to get Matt Stafford. They tried to be in on Sam Darnold, and just none of them come to fruition. And now they're stuck. So I the only way they can do it is take Shedeur and hope John Mara gives them a longer leash. But makes it easy for me with the Patriots. You sprint in Abdul Carter. I think the phrase... We've talked about this, Ben. The phrase generational player talent is overused. I think Abdul Carter is one of those players. And you can look at me and say you're crazy, but when it's so easy to compare because he wears the sticks at Penn State. It's easy to compare him to Micah Parsons. Micah did not have the pass rush juice and
No,
like production that Abdul Carter has, and they're virtually the same size. Oh wait, no, Abdul Carter's like 20 pounds heavier. So like I everything about Abdul Carter screams superstar to me that if he drops out of, the top 2, it'd be a crazy sight. But again, like we have Travis Hunter and we have the quarterback tax, so it has to happen. Like he's bound to fall. But yeah, I think this guy's a special player and bona fide top 5 pick. I don't care about the stress foot injury that was a
no, the
fracture.
stress fracture. Yeah,
It'll be cleaned up and he'll be on the field by week 1, and that's all I care about. And he's gonna be a nightmare for quarterbacks in that division.
absolutely. Again, a lot of need. A lot of talks about their need at wide receiver and offensive line, but hard to pass up on
Yeah.
Abdul Carter if he makes it all the way down to 4, man. Um, we usually do Mason Graham here.
Hmm.
For the sake of Tedero McMillan being on the board, and for the sake of doing something different, especially after they got rid of Christian Kirk, obviously they do not play the same roles. But pairing up Tedero McMillan and Brian Thomas Jr. would be amazing, and you get your Mike Evans replacement for Liam Cohen and Tedero McMillan. Absolutely, give me this and just build a very fun offensive skill group with Brian Thomas and Tedero McMillan. And again, I know Jaguars fans are used to Mason Graham here, but it'd be hard to not get behind this pick.
Yeah, it'd be so fun to build that in an aggregate. Just thinking about it, like you have Lawrence who's making all this money at the quarterback position, taking a ton of your cap room, and you drop into like successful in this scenario, projecting McMillan as a successful
Yeah.
rookie contract, and you have him and Brian Thomas making dirt cheap to what their production can be. It'd be fascinating to see, man. I would love it. I think McMillan is that good to go top 5. I know Daniel Jeremiah has him in the 20s, I think. Like, I think me and him see that player very differently. I think
Yes.
McMillan's a little overthought for me. There was a
Yes.
tweet the other day, I think it was Jeremiah talking about nobody's gone in the top 10 running sub 4.5 at the receiver position since Mike Evans. Well, the caveat for me is in 2022, Drake London went in the top 10, and we never saw him run, and he was never modeled to be a 4.4 guy.
No.
So I don't think that McMillan is going to drop this astronomical amount because I don't think the NFL is going to overthink him the way we are. I think the other receivers have, they have some fun and they're getting their light in the sun, but I still think McMillan is receiver 1 and easily receiver 1, depending on where you view Travis Hunter. That's the only thing. The Raiders are fascinating. So they have a quarterback. There wasn't really need for a quarterback here. Um, they have Colton Miller, so that's interesting. We could look at that. Look at Will Campbell, Membu. They sign Crosby to a long-term deal. That's interesting. We've done Genty in the past.
Yes.
They have Wilkins. It's hard to find like a true need. I was hoping for McMillan here, I'll be honest with you, but it's hard to find like a true need. Do they take another first round tight end? But overall, just looking at it, like I'm gonna take Campbell, and you just find his place. Personally,
Okay.
like it's not a pick I love because of need, but again, like I think you're getting a valuable player at a valuable position, and the movement, the flexibility of him is fascinating to
Well,
see where
anyway.
he goes. So I'm just gonna plug the good player in and figure it out.
Yes. I mean, speaking of plugging the good player in and figuring it out, continue to build. We talked about it to Browns and building the best edge rushing duo in the league. Might as well build the best tackle rushing duo in the entire league here with the Jets with Quinn Williams and Mason Graham. Uh, honestly very, very easy for me, especially with Will Campbell being off the board.
I agree. I agree. Uh, the Panthers, we're crossing our fingers for Mason Graham. He doesn't get there. That's a shame. They've spent so hard on the offensive line. I don't see Membu or Josh Simmons being a pick here. Like, again, it's hard, but it's like it's just lineman, and it's which one do you want? And for me, as much as this would hurt, it's Shamar Stewart. Like on the board, I think Stewart is truly just overall, man, has the size, the strength, the ability to be a star in the NFL. And I think guys with his profile don't last much longer than this at 8. So you're gambling, but this team needs to gamble on defensive line because they need guys to hit in
Yes,
a quick way. So yeah.
that defense sorely needs as much help as they can get. That is for sure. Yeah, that stings a little bit. Shamar Stewart is exactly who I would have picked here. Okay, building the best backfield, Aston GT. Absolutely kidding. It'd be fun though. Uh, yeah, I mean we're gonna still stick with the same position as much as I wanted to go Shamar Stewart here. Um, this is hard because there's been a lot of conversations about James Pierce falling a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you also have kind of the history that Mike Green brings. But we're just going to get just the best pass rusher in this entire class, even with the history that he brings. It's going to be Mike Green, and just go and get a guy that can absolutely hit the quarterback. I'm not as high on Pierce as maybe others are. So that's why we went Green instead.
No, I really like Mike Green. It'd be his rush productivity is real deal stuff. The only thing is, we're all gonna say smaller school, but like he has that give a crap mentality in every way, and he bullied Ohio State for a little bit there. If you haven't watched that tape, the
Yeah.
Bears, is this sprint in the pick?
Do it.
I think it is. It's Ashton Genty.
Yes.
I think we talked about him just a minute ago. This guy is so good, and they have a coach who I believe had a say in his offense prior in Detroit, and this team needed to have Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think
Yes.
the similar way this team should not want, this team needs Ashton Genty to really go to another place. And I think getting him at 10, getting him a value, the same way you got Roma Dunze last year. I didn't think Roma Dunze would make it to 9. He makes it to 9 flat. You rush in the pick. Same way here with Ashton Genty. I do believe he might go earlier. I think there's going to be
Yeah.
a team who wants to go up and try and get him, but if he makes it to 10, you got to take him.
Absolutely. You have to sprint in that pick with how much he just utilizes those running backs there in Detroit. Um, we're going to go with the best offensive lineman available at this point for the Niners, and for me, that's Membu. Um, it's easy. They lost their backup / swing tackle in free agency in Jalen Moore, and get this guy. He's gonna play. Trent Williams is getting old. He didn't, he missed a couple games this year. Get a guy that can really develop behind him and become that stud replacement when Trent Williams decides to hang it up.
No, I absolutely agree. I would have Simmons higher. You know this. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
But Membu is not a bad pick. And it's a way to get Colton McKivitz off the field at right tackle for the time being. I think that's a plus. The Cowboys, fascinating. What do the Cowboys really need? They've kind of just taken 1-year flyers. I feel like they've left the receiver position open purposefully. So it's like Burden is an easy pick. I feel like we've done Burden before. I don't really want to do, recycled picks this early into the mock draft. I want to keep continuing the cycle of new players, new content. So why not get a freak like Jahad Campbell? Like, am I
Wow.
insane for
I
thinking
love it.
Jahad Campbell as early as 12? Like, I think there's a comparison. It's I have Jahad Campbell over Jalen Walker. If that's a
Yes,
hot take, maybe it is. But I think his overall freak upside is higher than Jalen Walker. And just overall, putting him next to Micah Parsons, I would love to see it. I would love to see how that works out. But yeah, I'm in on Jahad Campbell, and the rumors, the rumblings of Jahad Campbell is a lot of teams in the top 15 are in on Jahad Campbell, and just like Micah Parsons was in 2021, he doesn't have a positional home. Well, just get the good player, and I think Dallas does that again here with Jahad Campbell.
absolutely. No, I like him better than Jalen Walker as well. It's again a little bit of a hot take. If you go right now on FanDuel, he's actually plus money to be the first linebacker taken to John Campbell. Good get. Yeah, Travis Hunter's not falling that far. Cowboys fan here. Cowboys getting Travis Hunter. Which will not happen.
Crossing the fingers.
Yeah, right. The easy pick here for Miami is the offensive line. If you actually have the concerns on Josh Simmons and his injuries, I could see them going in a different direction. And I don't want to go offensive line. Again, we've done it before. So I'm not going to do offensive line. They just lost a very good player at their position. And lucky for them, Malachi Starks is in this draft. They just lost Holland in free agency this year. He would be a very, very fun player to step in immediately and fill that role in almost to a T there. Malachi Starks, man, he'd be fun.
Yeah, Starks is another one. It's like overthinking for him. Like, I think he's a real deal center fielder. Man, I just watching him at drills in person for the one day that we went to Indy, me and Ryan, or Ryan and I, he looks the part, man. Like, everything was just so silky smooth, even if there was no pads. I think that guy is just what you see is what you get, and I don't care about the athletic testing.
Yeah.
The Colts, I feel like we've gone a few different ways, and it's like the most obvious ways, like it's corner or it's tight end. I think this time I'm gonna go Jahdae Barron, just because I don't think we've done that before. I think we've done Will Johnson and Tyler Warren. So yeah, Jahdae Barron out of Texas, played the star a lot, moved out to outside corner, won the Thorpe, the best corner in the country this past year. I think he's just a jack of all trades. I think if you want to put him close to the line of scrimmage, you can. If you want to put him at outside corner, he's a little slight, little, not super long, not as long as Will Johnson as a modeled outside corner should be, but I think he attacks the ball with instincts, and he's just an intelligent player on the outside. That Jahdae Barron at 14 is a good pickup for me.
Absolutely.
And with the signing of Travarius, this would kick Jahdae probably into the nickel.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like maybe an organic rise like McDuffie it was a few years ago.
Absolutely. I love this pick. Again, they have the need, and Barrett is just so good, and we'll be getting into secondary breakdown within the next few weeks. So we're going to kind of go chalk here in terms of position, but not the player that you guys think when you think of the guys here on the board. You see the guys here on the board, and you think of James Pierce. Well, I'm going to continue to, for the most part, I've pushed back against the rumors on him, maybe falling into the second round. But we're going to read the tea leaves a little bit, and this is going to be a little bit high for this player, but they need to rush the passer. And arguably the best pass rusher in the entire class when it comes to being a sack artist is here on the board. And he is my guy. I loved him when people didn't love him, and now people are kind of getting to him a little bit more. That Donovan Ezraku, man. Go out and get the guy that can rush the freaking passer, and he has the arm length. He has the athleticism to do it, and they need it. 18.2%. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, long freak athlete at the edge rusher position. What's not to love about Donovan Ezraku? Then we get to the Cardinals. I think it's like we could look at, interior. I think I'm just going to take Walter Nolan. I think it's the easiest pick on the board. Darius Alexander in the top 23. Whoa. But yeah, Walter Nolan, I think just a true, I think they got a true edge in free agency in Josh Sweat. I think now you still need to address it for me, and I think Walter Nolan possesses the athletic ability to be a very good, run fitting defensive tackle with the upside to get better as a pass rusher. So I'm gonna take him here at 16.
No pushback here.
Yeah.
They absolutely need it. Um, we're gonna again get a little funky. We're gonna go a little bit outside of the box here. We just saw the Bengals re-sign their top two pass catchers, and would it be maybe a little bit of a waste to draft another pass catcher here? Probably, but go out and just build an elite passing offense. Give me Tyler Warren here.
Mm.
Give me Tyler Warren here. It would be so much fun to see Tyler Warren, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins with Joe Burrow. Again, they have needs at other positions. I don't want to discredit that. They could have went guard. They could have went defensive lineman with Trey Henderson going, or Hendricks going in free agency, or at least seems to be that way. But hey, just lean into being the team that has amazing offense and really bad defense. Again, probably not the smartest, but we're gonna get fun.
Listen, Bengals fans, don't get mad at me. It's the guy on top. It's Ben's. That's Ben's pick. All right, don't come at me because James Spears is on the board. All right.
Yes. Yes.
No, but Tyler Warren makes it fascinating. It gives them, because they re-signed Gesicki, it gives them a fascinating 12 personnel look. I think they could still get it back in this class. I think Chase Brown is pretty good, but that more speaks to the talent of the back class rather than Chase Brown specifically. But yeah, no, I it would be
again,
fun.
Passing up on James Spears would probably send a lot of people into a frenzy. I understand that. I for those who are listening, please, I understand it, but I wanted to be fun. Wanted to do something a little bit different, something we might not have seen. That's why I went Tyler Warren. Love it.
Yeah, like the Seahawks are weird because they only take those really premium positions. And like I think there's still room to get a receiver like a Burden in there, but it's hard to project Burden in that, kind of scheme because you have two guys who are already kind of get the ball within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage and now Cup and JSN. So I'm going to go the other route. I'm going to go with Golden. I think it's a fascinating pick to get a speed element in your offense. It makes you more multiple, it gives you more options. It takes MVS off the field, which I think is a plus. Even if he was really good down the stretch with the Saints, I think getting another projection in there with just getting more options for Sam Darnold to really see if this works. And this is kind of like, well, why not take a guard? Well, John Schneider's not going to take a guard in the first round. He's told us too many times that he's not going to do that. So I'm not even going to try and predict his brain that he's going to do it this year for Sam Darnold. But I think Golden's a fascinating pick.
Oh yeah, I love it. Again, it adds an element to that offense that they don't have right now. Well, at an elite level, I guess they have with MVS, but spent a lot of time talking about the James Spears slide, but I think this is where it ends. I was hoping for Jahad Campbell at this point. It just didn't happen. But yeah, I think this is where the James Pierce slide ends. Just go and build a very, very dominant defensive line there.
What an edge rushing group. Yaya Diaby, Hassan Reddick, and now James Pierce Jr. That scared me.
Fun.
It scared Derek Carr. I know that. But I think Denver's tough. Denver kind of, solidly filled out the needs. Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, they get a pass catching tight end, so we don't really have to, talk about like, oh, Colson Loveland's on the board. So it's tough to project. Do you get another long physical corner in Will Johnson next to Pat Surtain? That's interesting. It gets Riley Moss off the field, which I think is a benefit. Looking at it, I think I'm just going to get another interior rusher. I think Derek Harmon is the best player on the board. So just looking at it with need and player in mind, I think just keep stacking up the defense. Keep filling out and shoring up the holes on your defensive side of the ball because I think that's your best shot at winning long term is kind of let's float with Sean Payton and Bo Nix and let's be a top 5 defense. Let's make it an intent to be one of those top 5 defenses.
Yes, and it got really interesting because the easy pick there was always either Tyler Warner or Colson Loveland, but the signing of Evan Ingram really put a hamper on that. You really scared me there when you said Will Johnson. I would have been upset because you would have just stolen that pick out from right underneath my nose there. The easy pick, Will Johnson should not be on the board at this point, and they're a team that needs cornerback help, needs someone alongside Joey Porter Jr. there. Easy pick, Will Johnson here.
Absolutely.
I will say, Mike Tomlin did meet with Jalen Milroe.
Stop it.
And Jalen Milroe ran a 4.3.
Stop that.
I'm sorry. I have to, guys.
Zip
love
it.
Jalen Milroe. But
Zip it. Yeah, I don't know who. I can't remember what insider made that tweet, but floating it, like someone tweeted out, it was like, why are you including the top, the 21st overall pick? We know that ain't happening, but I thought that was funny. The Chargers. Sprint in Luther Burden, please.
No!
I mean, I'm sorry. But
no,
like
right.
overall, this
team,
team,
I like it.
This team swinging and missing so hard on the receiver market, having all this money, like it continues to show that like drafting valuable receivers is one of the more, valuable things you can do. I know I double said the word there, but like just really putting an emphasis on it is that like two teams going into this with a ton of money was the Patriots and the Chargers, and both teams are not going to leave with an intriguing receiver prospect like out of free agency. You need to get these guys in the draft. You need to get them high in the draft. They hit on Ladd McConkey last year. Let's go even higher, shoot even higher with the 22nd pick in Luther Burden this year.
Absolutely love the pick. I mean,
could see Colson Loveland here. Could see it because of the Michigan background, but
yes. I mean, I was upset because it's exactly who I wanted to go here. I mean, we're gonna keep it the same position though. They have expressed the need and desire to want to get, or at least try to find someone that could be a wide receiver one. Given I don't know if his upside is there, but we're going to continue to add to that wide receiver room and bank that maybe Mbuka could be the dirty work wide receiver one. Go out and try to find someone that can step into that wide receiver one mold.
The Packers drafting like every wide receiver two possible to not have an alpha one would continue to be one of the funnier things that they could do.
Bit.
But yeah, Minnesota. So they swing very hard on the interior offensive line. They have a center, they have a guard, and they took two interior guys. So IDL is not as predominant of a position at this point. Tackle, not a predominant position at this time. Mykel Williams is fascinating. Jalen Walker is fascinating. I don't know what to do with Jalen Walker. Like, I think this is the spot to really take him. Yeah. Because, you get an intriguing player on that side of the ball for Brian Flores. But again, Brian Flores could walk out the door at any time. I'm going to take Caleb Johnson. So this is probably, this is the stretch where it's like, oh, they just traded for Jordan Mason. They just extended Aaron Jones. Yes, I know. But those are very limited shelf life items.
Yeah.
Caleb Johnson is not one of those things. I think, yes, you could get one later. I understand it. But it's just Caleb Johnson is so much better than this class for me at this spot that I'm going to gamble on this player now. They don't have a ton of picks after this spot. Like, I can look at, Minnesota. Their next pick is 97th, 139th. You're just not getting that caliber of player at that spot like Caleb Johnson that I'm going to gamble on. Like, let's complete this. If we are really going all in on J.J. McCarthy, let's make sure we have no holes that we can, blame later. We have the best possible situation for this guy to thrive and win in, just like we won 14 games with Sam Darnold a year ago. So that's why I have Caleb Johnson here. Any running back, I would understand. Travion Henderson, Marion Hampton, I would completely get.
Yes. No, again, those guys are not going to stop you from taking again, whether it's Hampton or Caleb Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
whoever it is, stop you from taking one of these elite backs in this class. Um, it's going to be easy for me. Josh Simmons shouldn't be here. They have the need on the offensive line. I know they
Mm-hmm.
just went out and got Cam Robinson, but this is an easy pick. Josh Simmons, without the injuries, probably tackle one, but he has it, and it's a good spot for him.
This is where I want to get so interesting with you, but I'm not. I was going to talk about a certain Ole Miss prospect here because it is fascinating to me, but we're not going to do it. We're not going to mock a quarterback to this team yet. I'm just gonna stick Colston Loveland here. I think there
Easy.
was a real desire to get Brock Bowers a year ago. Colston Loveland falls into their lap. I think if the Rams are willing to go up into the top of the 20s and there's someone willing to take him, I think they should be willing to go up and get him again. The only reason I have him falling to 26 is I don't know how to project how the tight ends get drafted. Like it's just those positions. It's just hard to
It's tough.
predict how those guys are going to get drafted. So have him fallen to 26.
There you go. So I'm really between two players here, and I'll let you make the decision between the two players because I'm pretty stuck, and it's between edge and an interior offensive line here. Both guys that are right here on the board that I'm staring down. It's funny because they're 30 and 31. It's between guy that's a developmental pass rusher and can really do it at a high level, which we've seen the Ravens really value, or at a position of need with a guy like you know, at guard with a guy like Gray Zabel. They have him listed at tackle, but he truly is the
Yeah,
best
he's a guard.
interior offensive line in the class. And for me, it's between Jalen Walker and Gray Zabel. I'll let you make the pick between those two guys because I'm really torn. I don't know which way I'd rather go.
You're setting me up because like I love Gray Zabel, but I do have Jalen Walker higher on my board, and he is like he's such a Raven. I feel like you put him in that purple and black, like he's
Exactly.
just like as the kids say, he's gonna add aura. So yeah, I think Jalen Walker should be the pick here. Absolutely. It's again another tangent by me, but like he is so hard to project because like someone I really respect and Dane Brugler has him ranked at number 3, and I'm like, whoa, dude. Like I love his opinion. I love his draft guide every year, The Beast. But it's like 3 Jalen Walker. It's tough to get there with him because he is all projection for me. He took over that Texas game in a real way. It's just I don't think he's going to go as late as 27. But we said the same thing with Nolan Smith, and he went in the like 30th. So Jalen Walker is so eye of the beholder that it's like someone's gonna do it. I just don't know who. And before that, like I feel like we're just gonna end up having him fall this far down because we just don't know what to do with him and where
Yeah.
to put him. But the Lions, I think this is sprinting Michael Williams.
Yes.
I think he's just again taking an edge. I thought about Zabel here, just replacing Zeitler right off the bat, but overall, Michael Williams complements Aiden Hutchinson really well. Hutchinson hopefully gets back week 1 after his leg injury. I know there was a shot he wanted to play in the Super Bowl, so his recovery, his rehab should be going phenomenally. But yeah, get another one of those big, broad body types on the edge for the Lions here.
Absolutely. This pick is really easy for me here, too. Again, we talk about their need at running back, and my RB2 is still here on the board for them. And that shows you how good this draft class is that we're going to see 3 running backs taken in the first round here, and it's going to be Amari and Hampton. And I
Mhm.
really think it adds a level to this offense that they did not have this past year. So very easy picking Amari and Hampton here.
No, absolutely. Uh, Hampton, awesome player. I think it, like you said, just adding that other element that Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson definitely don't have in that burst in the short area
Mm-hmm.
to really make things happen quickly. I think it's a phenomenal pick. 30 for the Bills. It's tough. They still have edges in need. I know they cut Vaughn, but they signed Joey. They have Greg
Joey.
Rousseau. Like I don't know if edge is really a must. Like what I'm looking at is let's just gamble on one of these corners to really work out, like you did a few years ago with Kyler Elam. And again, I'm gonna take Chevin Revel. Like I think he
Love
just
it.
has the body type overall. He's coming off an ACL tear. I understand that, but just the overall body type, the size, the physicality, and the long speed to survive on the outside. And I think just dropping another guy on the outside is going to do them wonders.
And if he was able to play this season, I think he would have went higher than 30.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good of I absolutely love him. And love the pick. As an Eagles fan, that was the last team that I was holding my breath for because as a player, I really wanted 32. But that's besides the point. Going to make it super easy. They're going to need to find a tackle here in this class, and Calvin Banks is staring at him. This is one of those picks, again, that they just run up, say, he's here. We didn't think he was going to be here. Calvin Banks, come and be a Kansas City Chief here.
And it's just like I think Kansas City signing Jalen Moore, that doesn't mean Jalen Moore is going to be their starter to me. It's just like I think they're just trying to find five guys now. Like they were not going to pay Tooney, so they got off his contract a year early. Understandable. They didn't want to wait on the comp pick. So now it's like, all right, now we got to build this in the aggregate. Now we got to find, who's going to play? We just need to find two more guys. We're keeping Trey, we're keeping Creed Humphrey, and we're keeping Jawan Taylor. We just not need to find two guys. Let's spend all the resources needed to find those two guys. And this is just another resource thrown at it. And someone's going to be left out in the water, but you got two good players on the field. But the Eagles...
Please. I'm getting on my knees.
Who do you want?
Oh, come on. Who do I want here?
Who do you want here?
One South Carolina player?
Oh, do you?
Yes. No, for those who are unaware, I am just infatuated with Nick Imamori. Absolutely loved him. I was very happy that he had a good combine, but sad because it really pushed him up people's boards. And then when you consider that they traded their box safety / like star Viper role in GJ, slides into that position just almost perfectly and continue to just build one of the best young secondaries in the entire league. I would be jumping out of my seat. That is my dream pick at 32. So
this is the final 32. I'm going to save my thoughts on Imanwari for a later date. But
okay.
Yeah, this is the 32. I think we did a very good job. I think we had a little bit of out-of-box picks, but yeah. I think they fit well. I don't think we rushed or really reached on any picks here. I think these are the 32 best players.
Bengals fans, again, I formally apologize. Just wanted to do something fun. But yeah, it's Mock Draft 3.0. Thank you guys for watching that and tuning into that. Wrapping it up here, Matt, do you have any